Welcome everybody, it's Tellum, and in this video we're going to be discussing how many times we have actually traveled through different universes and played as different sets of the original characters. Now you guys may be confused by that, but the best way to explain it is what happened in Origins, how we actually switched from the original characters to the Origins characters. And what I'm going to be actually calling all these to sum up all of them, to call them one set of character groups. I'm going to be calling them the Dent character groups, and it's just an abbreviation of all their names. So D for Dempsey, E for Edward, N for Nikolai, and T for Takeo. So back to explaining exactly what's been happening. So if you guys are unfamiliar with the multiverse, it's been going on for a while inside Zombies, probably from all the way at Black Ops, and I'll be explaining in a little bit, but pretty much we've been having our different sets of Dent character groups, because we had, obviously the best example is what happened from Black Ops to Origins. So as you guys can see, we swapped out from having these older versions to the younger versions, but this has actually been happening for a while, and I will start to explain now. So the first ever universe we entered inside Zombies was the World at War universe, and these contain Nocturne, Toten, Verrückt, Shironuma, and Derize. So we're mainly going to be talking about Shironuma and Derize, and because this is where our first Dent character crew actually showed up. And like I said, Dent stands for Dempsey, Edward, Nikolai, and Takeo, if you guys just to keep that in your head. But in Shironuma we got our first appearance of them, and in Derize they were still there. These maps actually got remastered in Black Ops 1, and there's actually a way to tell that the Shironuma remastered in Black Ops 1 and the Derize from Black Ops 1 are not the same universe as the World at War ones. And this can vary by opinion, but I believe this is actually a thing. So as you guys will see on screen now, I have a picture of Takeo from World at War Derize. As you guys can see, he looks pretty awful, but either way, just pay attention to his face. He doesn't have any facial hair. But now I'll show you an image of Takeo from Derize. Actually, this isn't inside Derize, the remastered Derize, inside Black Ops 1, but it's in Kino. But trust me, he does have the same mustache in the remastered Derize, and for some reason he has this mustache. Now you guys may think, again, this is a small thing, but I feel this is actually like an actual way to separate the two universes, because you have to keep in mind what we expected. If they were the same exact universe, then there wouldn't be any changes to one's personal appearance, because this is supposed to be the same exact thing. But the problem is, it's not. He has a mustache. This can separate a lot of what's happening. So I feel that our first set of characters we ever played with, and this was the first one, was all the way back in World at War, and the second time we got introduced to a new Dent character crew inside Black Ops. And of course, these characters were in Shironuma remastered, or maybe it was a remake, I'm not too sure. And we had Derize remastered, Kingdom Toten, Call of the Dead, Shangri-La, and Moon. As you guys can tell, I did skip over 2 maps, but 5, that's because they weren't there. But one other map, Ascension. Now Ascension is probably the most obvious first appearance of a new character group, because if you guys think back to his Black Ops 1, what was Richtofen's grand plan throughout Black Ops 1? Of course, to get to Moon and do whatever he did and take over the zombies and get into the ether. But in Ascension, for some reason, we went to Ascension, and what did we do there? We freed Gersch. Not really helping Richtofen's or Black Ops universe is Richtofen, but for some reason we went and helped this guy Gersch that Richtofen didn't even know about. And on top of this, I'll have an image of Richtofen on screen from Ascension, and as you guys can see, he's wearing a spacesuit, or more like an astronaut suit. And as you guys will see in this image, I'll show you again, this is how he was dressed in Kingdom Toten. And if this was going along the story, then as you guys can see, he's in his Nazi uniform. Why did for some reason he have a spacesuit or an astronaut suit on in Ascension, and then when he appears again in Shangri-La, he again does not have the spacesuit anymore, and he now has his Nazi uniform again. So I think this is our third set of character groups we had, or Dent character groups that we had so far. Now you guys are pretty much very familiar with the next two, but I'll talk about them anyways. obviously the Origins characters, they were in a separate universe, and that one was made more than obvious. They were obviously younger, and everything is just, that one's kind of face value. So right now we have 4 different character groups, and then we finally got our last set of Dent character crews, and they are from the 1.0 universe. And if you guys are again unfamiliar with the 1.0, it's just the universe that we are going in and killing the other versions of ourselves inside Black Ops 3. So these maps contain the Giant, the Rise of the Rocket, Zetsubo no Shima, and whatever DLC 3 is going to have. As you guys can tell from yourself, you guys seen us kill in the Giant's opening cutscene. We saw Richtofen kill his 1.0 version there. And then in the Rise of the Rocket, Dempsey killed his 1.0 version. Zetsubo no Shima, he killed his 1.0 version of himself. So that brings our grand total of ones we can probably say for sure that of 5 different Dent character groups that we have actually played with throughout the whole zombie storyline. Now I'll do a quick summary before this video ends is of all the different character groups. So the first universe we had was the World at War universe that contained Shironuma and Derize and just those sets of characters. Then in the Black Ops universe, we traveled to a brand new universe and started playing as a new Dent character group that it contained Shironuma and Derize Remastered, Kyoto, and Call of the Dead, Shangular, and Moon. Of course, we have our another set of character groups, the Ascensions character groups. Then we had our Origins, then we had our 1.0, which brings our grand total to 5 Dent character groups that we've had in total. Now again, this is how I perceive the game or the storyline, and it's my personal opinion. If I did make a mistake somewhere, go ahead and tell me down in the comments. But either way, I hope you guys found this helpful and informative, and if you did, go ahead and thumbs up. If you guys want to stay tuned for more Call of Duty, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on my next video.